Greetings to all the lovely ladies and gentlemen out there. I'm your host, the ProGent, and to unlock the remainder of this episode, all you need to do is solve this extremely simple puzzle. On your screen, simply trace a path from the entrance of the maze to its center. You have 5 seconds, and go. Okay, I'm being informed that no one solved my maze. Well, clearly we need some remedial puzzle-solving lessons, and who better to provide them than the master himself, Professor Layton. The Professor Layton series, developed by Level 5, debuted on the Nintendo DS in February of 2007 in Japan, and headed to the Western world a year later. The games revolve around the eponymous professor and his various companions investigating mysteries by solving different sorts of puzzles. Not including the mobile game and the crossover with friend of the show Phoenix Wright, the Layton series has 7 installments, which are divided into 2 seasons, with Season 2 being set chronologically before Season 1. Naturally, there's also an anime adaptation of the series, which started airing in Japan in April of this year. However, that's not what we'll be talking about today. Today, we're taking a look at Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva, an original animated film released in 2009 and set during the series' 2nd season. Fun fact, this movie was produced by Masakazu Kubo, who also produced Pokemon the first movie. The film kicks off in the middle of a chase, with Professor Layton chasing Don Paolo, a recurring villain from Season 1 of the game series. Don escapes using some kind of helicopter contraption, and we flash forward to Layton in his office, apparently not particularly bothered about this, putting on a record and reminiscing with his apprentice Luke about one of their previous cases. And this serves as our framing device for the rest of the movie. The opening is basically fan service and has nothing to do with the rest of the plot. Same producer. Right. Layton recalls that he was given tickets to an opera featuring Janice Quatlane, a famed singer and one of his former pupils. Layton and Luke head to the opera house to watch the performance. As the opera unfolds, we see that all of the orchestral accompaniment is provided by one man, Oswald Whistler, a renowned pianist who is using a massive machine called the Detrigan to perform every instrument's part. Shortly after the performance, a mystery man requests the audience solve a puzzle which will lead them to the secret of eternal life. However, those that fail to solve the puzzle will die. And thus commotion breaks out amongst the crowd. Naturally, Layton and Luke solve the puzzle easily. It is kind of their whole thing after all. Along with a few others, with those who have failed to find the solution dropping through trapdoors and disappearing from the movie entirely, presumably having been brutally murdered off-screen. Damn, movie! Those who did find the solution discover that the opera house is also a ship, as it then breaks off from the mainland and heads out to sea. After a second puzzle leads the remaining group to a set of boats, they arrive the following morning at a mysterious island with a castle in the distance. Our protagonists deduce that they've arrived on the lost island of Ambrosia, which was described in the opera that they had seen. They are also able to deduce the existence of a wolf population on the island, using as evidence for this conclusion the fact that said wolves are attempting to eat them. Luckily, Layton, Luke, and Janice are able to devise a makeshift helicopter and fly away towards the castle. In the castle, Layton encounters a girl calling herself Melina, though Layton recognizes her as a kidnapped child named Nina. Around this time, the plot reveals itself. Oswald Whistler, the multi-musician, is conspiring with Jean Desclée, an established villain from one of the previous games, to kidnap children, strap them into the Detrigan, and implant the memories of his dead daughter into their mind. Oswald's in it simply to get his daughter back, because when your kid dies, just get a replacement kid. While Desclée is hoping to use the song implanted in Melina's memories to raise the lost ruins of Ambrosia from the ground. Because music is literally magic, don't you know? Janice is also one of the recipients of the memory transfer, and Descalay attempts to force her to raise the ruins. This fails, and Descalay responds to this in the only logical way one can. Summon a giant robot controlled by the Detrigan to excavate the ruins directly. Extreme archaeology at its finest. Naturally, the professor objects to just about all of this, and combats Descalay like a true gentleman. With actual weapons. I know. I was expecting them to force each other to solve Sudoku grids or something. But no, we have ourselves an honest-to-God fight scene. While Layton has Descalay busy, Luke rescues Janice/Melina, and with her safe, Layton reveals the flaw in Descalay's plan. Layton plays the final part of the magic excavation song that Descalay overlooked, and the ruins of Ambrosia begin to rise. Descalay, upset that Layton was able to solve the mystery he wasn't, decides to go for pure spite and breaks his robot's control panel, causing it to destroy itself, and allowing Descalay to escape in the confusion. The ancient city is revealed, and Melina bids farewell to her father, Layton, and Luke. Oswald resigns himself to be arrested for his crimes, Janice regains full control of her mind, and Layton and Luke look on as the prophecy of the Ambrosian civilization has come true. One thing I really liked about this movie is the distinctive character designs. Keeping with the game's style, no character looks like any other. It allows for crowds to look truly diverse and makes each individual special to look at. The movie's visuals are strong as well. I've talked a few times about poorly used CGI in anime in recent years, and seeing it mostly used for giant scenery pieces keeps it from looking either obnoxious or uncomfortable. The action sequences and some of the comedic stuff are highlights for the animation. The style is very cartoony and makes me laugh, in a good way. My only real criticism is the movie does run a little long for what it's trying to accomplish. The film really captures the spirit of a Professor Layton game, with puzzles that you can solve while watching, music that invokes Victorian England, and characters that all keep you interested till the end. Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva is a great movie to watch if you're interested in the series and want to start on something light before digging into what can be a complex set of games. I've been the Professional Gentleman, and thank you for listening.
By the way, Nintendo, if you're listening, Professor Layton for Smash Brothers, you know you want it!
Thanks for watching. As always, a thank you to Andy Lita for keeping me looking so fine. Check out his work in the description below. If you enjoyed the show, please click on that thumbs up over there. It helps us out a lot. If you've got suggestions for something I can review in the future, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And of course, subscribe to my channel for future content.
Love ya, boy.